Forget everything you think you know about a football superstar, because Toni Kroos is the exception. No blistering pace, no flashy skills, no need for the spotlight, yet he can suffocate an entire game with just a few touches. 5 Champions League titles, a World Cup, dozens of trophies, and behind it all, a luxury lifestyle controlled to perfection. Multi-million-dollar villas, a sleek car collection, high-end watches, everything operating with the same precision as his passes. But here's what makes the world go silent. Kroos is almost invisible until the moment he decides to kill the game. 7 shocking truths about Toni Kroos. And the final one will completely change how you see him. Toni Kroos, the quiet genius who defined an entire generation of football. Toni Kroos was born on January 4, 1990 in Greifswald, a small town in northern Germany. A place without spotlight, only discipline, cold winds, and a quiet boy relentlessly chasing perfection. His father, Roland Kroos, a football coach, quickly recognized his son's rare tactical mind. His mother, Birgit Kammer, brought the resilience of a professional athlete. Not a loud prodigy, Kroos grew up in silence, and that silence shaped one of the greatest footballing minds in history. His journey began at Bayern Munich, where he made his first team debut at just 17. No special treatment, no shortcuts. He had to go out on loan to prove himself. And when he returned, Kroos was no longer just a prospect. He was a key piece in Bayern's winning machine, playing a major role in their historic 2012-13 treble. During his time there, he won multiple titles: 3 Bundesliga, 3 DFB Pokal, and 1 Champions League. A solid foundation for the leap that would follow. In 2014, the world witnessed Kroos at his absolute peak with the German national team. He didn't just win the World Cup, he became the brain behind the iconic 7-1 demolition of Brazil, earning man of the match in the semi-final and a place in the tournament's best 11. That moment didn't just mark success, it transformed him into one of the most sought-after midfielders in Europe. Just weeks later, Kroos joined Real Madrid for €25 million, a fee that would later become legendary. At the Bernabeu, he didn't just play, he controlled games. Over nearly a decade, Kroos became the tactical heart of Real Madrid, winning more than 20 major trophies, 4 La Liga titles, 5 UEFA Champions League titles, 4 FIFA Club World Cups, 4 UEFA Super Cups, and multiple domestic honors. Alongside Luka Modric and Casemiro, he formed one of the most complete midfield trios of all time, dominating Europe with ruthless precision and composure. But what truly set Kroos apart wasn't just the trophies, it was how he achieved them. No noise, no flash, no need for speed, just near-perfect passing accuracy and an unmatched ability to control the tempo of a match. He didn't chase the game moved around him. And then, at the peak of it all, Toni Kroos made a decision that left the football world in silence. He stopped. No waiting for decline, no fading into the shadows. He walked away while still at the center of everything, with a FIFA World Cup, 5 Champions League titles, and countless trophies in hand. An ending not just rare, but almost impossible to replicate in modern football. From a quiet boy in Greifswald to the brain of Real Madrid's midfield, Kroos didn't just build a career. He redefined perfection through absolute composure. And when he left, what remained wasn't just silverware, but a standard, a cold, precise benchmark that may never truly be replicated. The final chapter of Toni Kroos doesn't close with noise or lights. It fades out quietly. just like the way he controlled an entire generation. Silently, but completely. The La Finca Fortress. The secret behind Toni Kroos's luxurious yet private life. In a football world where many stars turn wealth into flashy displays, Toni Kroos has chosen a completely different path, quietly building his own empire with precision and absolute control. No loud supercars, no over-the-top mansions. Everything Kroos owns reflects exactly who he is: cold, efficient, and built for the long term. In Madrid, Kroos operates within two layers of living space, one to run his everyday life, and one to shield himself from the outside world. In an upscale suburban area, he once owned a luxury villa valued at around $1.2 to $1.5 million. Not a flashy palace, but a true energy recovery center. Inside, there's a private pool, a modern gym, a spa, entertainment areas, and a private workspace. So every detail is designed for one purpose: to keep Kroos in peak condition, physically and mentally. No excess, no decoration, just efficiency. But that's only the outer layer. The true core of his empire lies in La Finca, one of Madrid's most exclusive residential areas, often considered the private fortress of Real Madrid stars. Here, Kroos owns a villa valued between $6 and $9 million. Not just a home, but a silent fortress. La Finca isn't built for public attention. Multi-layered security systems, strict access control, and dense surveillance create a space almost completely isolated from the outside world. For Kroos, this is where he disconnects from pressure, media, and chaos to maintain absolute focus. Inside the villa, his philosophy becomes even clearer. No extravagant interiors, no unnecessary details. Instead, a private pool, a professional-grade gym, family living spaces, and minimalist design pushed to a near-clinical level. Nothing is wasted, just like his game. Beyond Spain, Kroos has also quietly invested in Germany, the place where it all began. These properties, valued between $550,000 and over $1.1 million each, are not just financial assets, but family foundations. And to structure this entire strategy, he founded his own real estate company, Kroos Properties 21, a move that proves he doesn't just own assets, he operates them like a business. No speculation, no unnecessary risk, only calculated long-term growth. The biggest difference? Kroos doesn't build his empire to be seen. He builds it to last. While many players collect luxury mansions to display status, Kroos takes the opposite approach. Fewer, but perfectly precise. Every property has a purpose. Every investment has a strategy. Just like on the pitch, he doesn't make the most passes, but he almost never gets one wrong. With an estimated net worth of around $50 million, real estate isn't everything, but it reflects him more clearly than anything else. Control, composure, and zero waste. In a football world full of noise and spotlight, Toni Kroos chooses silence and still controls the entire game. No need to be faster. No need to be louder. Just always be in the right place and have everything under control. Inside Toni Kroos's garage, where every car has a purpose. If real estate is where Toni Kroos builds long-term stability, then his car collection is the rare corner that reveals a different side of him. Powerful, fast, and full of emotion. At the center of the garage is the Ferrari 488, valued at around $300,000, a rare burst of speed that breaks Kroos's usual calm. Powered by a twin-turbo V8 engine producing nearly 670 horsepower, it accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 3 seconds, and reaches a top speed of over 330 kilometers per hour. Inside, premium leather, sport seats, and a modern digital cockpit create a driving experience that is both aggressive and precise. This isn't just a supercar, it's a secret weapon. Much like those sudden long-range shots or defense-splitting passes Kroos delivers to collapse entire systems. At the opposite end, the Audi Q8, approximately $90,000, represents controlled power. Equipped with a turbocharged V6, premium leather interior, dual MMI screens, and adaptive suspension, this SUV delivers the perfect balance between performance and comfort. Not flashy, but undeniably strong, just like Kroos, always in control without needing to make noise. Next is the Audi A7, approximately $80,000, the rhythm of his daily life. With its sleek four-door coupe design, minimalist interior, digital displays, and smooth handling, it's the perfect everyday car. It's not the one that turns heads, it's the one that earns respect. Just like Kroos on the pitch, no spotlight needed, yet always at the center of everything. Closing the collection is the Audi SQ5, approximately $70,000. A compact, practical SUV that is all about efficiency. With a powerful engine, comfortable leather interior, modern infotainment system, and stable performance, it's the final piece of the system, not flashy, but essential. The total value of Kroos's garage is estimated at around $540,000 to $600,000. A number that might surprise some when compared to the multi-million-dollar collections of other superstars. But that's exactly the point. Kroos doesn't collect to impress. He chooses to serve a purpose. Every car has a role, just like every pass he makes on the pitch. Nothing extra, nothing wasted, just precise and effective control of the game. And when speed on the ground is no longer enough for a global conductor, the story begins to rise to another level. From highways to private skies, where charter flights, luxury cabins, and unlimited schedules become the next layer of Kroos's lifestyle. How Toni Kroos travels redefines the meaning of luxury. Here's a truth that might surprise many. Kroos doesn't own a multi-million-dollar private jet like many global sports superstars. No Gulfstream, no Bombardier with his name on it, no personal logo painted across the fuselage. But here's the paradox. He still travels in a way that's just as luxurious as anyone at the top. Instead of locking tens of millions of dollars into a depreciating asset, Kroos takes an approach that reflects a true tactical mind. On-demand private jet charter. Each flight can cost anywhere from $20,000 to over $100,000, depending on the route and aircraft. A figure that could buy a luxury car after just a few trips. But what he gets in return isn't just transportation. It's a completely private space in the sky, where everything is designed for one purpose: him. Premium leather seats that fully recline into beds, delivering perfect rest above the clouds. A soundproof cabin that isolates him from the outside world. Personalized dining, fine wine, and 5-star service. High-speed Wi-Fi, entertainment systems, and even a mobile workspace. At 30,000 feet, Kroos isn't just traveling, he's controlling his time. Resting, recovering, analyzing tactics, or simply enjoying silence. Everything is within reach. And this is where his lifestyle truly separates itself. While many superstars treat private jets as symbols of power and status, Kroos sees them as a matter of efficiency. A private jet can cost anywhere from $5 million to over $50 million, not including annual operating costs that run into the millions. For Kroos, that's an unnecessary investment. He doesn't need to own the sky. He just needs to use it perfectly. From multi-million-dollar villas to a carefully curated car collection and seamless private travel across Europe, every decision Toni Kroos makes follows one principle: optimization. No waste, no excess, no margin for error. And maybe that's why, even without owning a jet in the traditional sense, he's still living at a level most can only dream of. Because for Kroos, luxury isn't about what you own, it's about how you control everything. Even when you're miles above the ground, time is power. Toni Kroos's watch collection says it all. No private jets, no multi-million-dollar yachts. Toni Kroos chooses to define his status through something far more subtle: time, and how he wears it on his wrist. At the very top of his collection sits Richard Mille, ultra-complex mechanical masterpieces valued between $250,000 and over $500,000, where aerospace technology, ultra-light materials, and absolute precision converge. These aren't just watches. They're symbols of elite wealth and peak performance, mirroring the way Kroos controls a game. Zero margin for error, nothing unnecessary. Right behind is the Patek Philippe Nautilus, a legendary steel sports watch worth around $100,000 to $150,000 on the market. Minimalist in design, yet nearly impossible to obtain without true status. It reflects Kroos perfectly, understated, but deeply respected by those who understand greatness. Next comes the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, instantly recognizable with its iconic octagonal design and priced between $50,000 and $150,000. It blends strength with refinement, much like Kroos's passes, seemingly simple yet often decisive. At a slightly lower tier, but no less prestigious, is the Rolex Day-Date President, valued around $40,000 to $60,000. A watch synonymous with power and consistency, qualities Kroos has maintained for over a decade at the top. Alongside it sits the Rolex GMT Master 2, approximately $15,000 to $25,000. A timepiece built for global travelers, reflecting the borderless life of a football icon. In total, Kroos's watch collection is estimated to range between $500,000 and over $1 million. Not outrageous by superstar standards, but perfectly aligned with who he is. Because for Kroos, watches aren't about shock value, they're about control. Not about showing off, but about defining identity. And just like on the pitch, he doesn't need constant moments of brilliance. Sometimes all it takes is a glance at his wrist to remind everyone: time, the game, and the entire rhythm of play are still under his control. From Bernabeu to broken lives, the untold journey of Toni Kroos. If the watches on Toni Kroos's wrist are how he controls time, then how he uses that time is what truly defines who he is. Not for lavish parties or flashing lights, Kroos chooses to turn every moment into value, where football is no longer the center, but a tool to create real change beyond the pitch. At the heart of that journey is the Toni Kroos Foundation, a charity he personally established to support seriously ill children and their families. No noise, no headlines, but every action is deeply practical. Covering medical costs, providing essential equipment, and standing beside families through their hardest moments. What sets Kroos apart isn't how much he gives, it's how he gives. He's not just a donor, he shows up. He meets the children, listens to their stories, visits hospitals, and appears at charity events. For him, value isn't measured by how much you give. It's about being there when it matters most. charity matches, community programs, and fundraising events he takes part in all share one thing. They're not built for image. They're built for impact. Everything is executed the same way he plays football, structured, purposeful, and almost flawless. While many stars use their influence to build personal brands, Kroos uses his to solve real problems. He doesn't need to be a media icon or run massive global campaigns, because what he's chasing is sustainability, not attention. And maybe just like on the pitch, Toni Kroos doesn't need 1,000 loud moments. He just needs every action to come at the right time, to create a difference that lasts. The mysteries surrounding the life and career of Toni Kroos continue to fascinate fans. No noise, no chasing the spotlight, yet he remained at the very top with a career that feels almost flawless. Will his decision to walk away at peak form make his legacy truly immortal? Or is it just the beginning of a completely new chapter beyond the pitch? In a world where every star has to perform to survive, Kroos chose silence. And that silence is exactly what makes him different. What do you think about his journey and the choices he's made? Is he the most complete midfielder of the modern game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more stories about football superstars, both on the pitch and in their luxurious lives off it. Thanks for watching.